about the next 2 weeks, but then when I started thinking about the next 2 weeks, then I thought I had to put it in the context of then after that, and then after that, and so now I'm gonna tell you about my whole life and your whole life. No, that's it. Anyway, I'm probably gonna tell you more than you need to know, and it'll be in the May newsletter. Starting next Monday and for 12 days, Zen, as I think we all have a taste and a flavor, is full of rituals. And they're beautiful, and I hope we hold them with lightness and care. And I just wanted to say, Pope Paul, what an amazing human being in an institution that had lots of institution. That and there were things he couldn't change or do, or I mean, who knows, but within that, he was humble and kind. I heard on the way here that he doesn't want to be buried in the Vatican. Have you ever been? I've been to the Vatican. Have you been to the Vatican? The Vatican is amazing. He wants to be buried in a little church dedicated to the Virgin Mary. He wants to be buried under a woman and in a wooden casket. So, I just think what an amazing person for this time, and may his legacy continue. So I think I wanted to say that in terms of how we hold. Most important thing in ritual is just an acknowledgement of kindness and connection and humility, and how do we be good human beings. And so starting next Monday and for 12 days, some of us, there'll be six of us over the 12 days, and then Ken Sawyer and Norman Fisher will be dropping in and out. We'll be doing Dharma transmission Shiho ceremony at my house, which has lots of ritual and it's like a sesshin, but with more ritual and some late night ceremonies. So for those 2 weeks, we will continue with the Eightfold Path, which as we will today. And next Tuesday, for the next 2 Tuesdays, Chelsea will be leading us. And for the 2 Thursdays within that 2 weeks, Erica and Marilyn will be leading us. So please come and support each other. And then just to throw it all in, I thought, and then after that, we're going to be in May, we'll be doing some Jukais. June, excuse me. Don't make you nervous. None of this, everybody's a bodhisattva. It doesn't matter, but some people, it's nice to be able to do. And then we're going to have a little retreat in the summer, a 1-day one in nature, which is something I've wanted to do for a long time. And then, anyway, you don't need to know all this. But then Ariel's here, and I wanted to say it too, because Razela, who comes on Thursdays, and who else was, anyway, there's going to be a retreat up in Bellingham, Red Cedar Zen. It has a whole new building. They're almost ready to open, and we're going to do priest ordination up there. And Razela invited everybody, so it's like a 3 or 4 day retreat. Ariel's nodding, and that would be cool if anybody wanted to go up and do that. And then after that, we'll be into practice period. And anyway, you just, there are just marvels in this world, and wherever you are, let's help each other pay attention to what's true and what's important. So mostly I wanted you to know about the next 2 weeks. And now I want you to know about right speech. Yeah, oh yeah. And Constance wants you to know about something first.
So speaking of ritual, you may notice that there's people during the services that ring the bell and lead the chant and strike the drum and do clackers and whatever is necessary in particular services. And I would like to have a a group that meets to learn about those types of, they're called the Do-On Rio, these people. And I would like to have a group that learns about what it is to be a Do-On Rio. And so I would like to know if I could, if people right here in this room right now could tell me whether they're interested. And also I want to ask the people on screen if they can raise their hand, and Rachel is going to write down the names of those people that are.
Oh, man, we're gonna put you guys on the spot here.
Well, no, just if you're interested in knowing when we're going to have it, there's no commitment, but it's like, if you're interested in knowing when it's gonna happen, so that you can learn about what it is.
Great, so Mary and Marilyn and Chelsea have their hands up on screen.
Goody.
And Deborah.
And Deborah, cool,
And Deborah and Chelsea.
okay.
And people inside the room.
And Sherry.
Sherry.
And Susan and
Susan,
Beth.
Lady.
And Constance, I'm available as a figurehead if you need somebody to bow at the altar or something for bells.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great.
Lainey, did you have your hand up?
Lainey
Yeah.
and Laura
And Laura's excellent.
and
Elise, and
Kyle.
your hand up? Elise?
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna learn how to do that.
Oh,
Jared's
One
looking
thing at a
happy
time.
over his team.
Okay.
We got different teams in the room.
So I will contact you and let you know, and ask about what would be work for everybody, in terms of their schedule and stuff.
Okay, and if you're interested in learning about tech, let Jared know.
Right, exactly.
Because you guys wouldn't be here without that team, so this is cool. Okay,
Thank
should we
you.
go on?
Question,
Yeah,
before, the Dharma transmission that you're gonna do for 12 days, is this you receiving or
no, I'm
giving?
giver with no giver, no receiver, no gift, yes. Yeah. And we'll talk a
so-
little bit more
okay,
about that
yeah.
on the other side too.
Okay.
So, on the other side.
Can we know who's involved?
Yeah, Debbie and Mary Ann and Mary Koopman, and then, actually, oh, that's what I was, Chris Burkhart is gonna drive all the way down from, Bellingham to help out, and Eva Sloan, who's a wonderful old-time Zen Center person, is coming to help, and Ken Sawyer is coming to help, who's an old-time amazing. But anyway, it's just a whole bunch of really sweet, devoted people. That's the way I feel. It's like, these are just good friends getting together, helping each other, and I'm lucky to be able to get to do this. Yeah,
And you're hosting the 12 days at your
Yeah.
house? And is it overnight or do people come? and
yeah,
go?
no, it's overnight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a fairly big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. you can-
Deborah has a question up. Are
Yeah.
you going to do
Oh.
Dokusan during that time?
During that time, no, I am, no, yeah, but I'll be back after the 9th. We all will be. Okay. And again, we'll talk about it some more on the other side, because nobody knows anything. We're all just gonna plunge ahead. Oh, and then the other thing is that in August, we're gonna do lay entrustment. And Erica will come and fly down and be here from Colorado, and Chelsea will do that too, so, yeah. So my goodness, lots of mushrooms.
You're gonna do what in August? Entrustment, it's called entrustment, is that it?
Entrustment, yeah.
Okay.
It's just all these different colors and forms and. It just doesn't mean anything, and it means something, and you're all fine exactly the way you are, and just keep being a good person. That's the most important thing. Okay? Okay. Right speech. Eightfold Path. Eightfold Path has three bases. One is prajna, wisdom. And we began there with right view, which is the Four Noble Truths, and right intention. Then it goes to the way it's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But of course, nothing's linear like that. It's a great big circle. It's all woven in and out of everything else. Is ethics, which I'm so enjoying reading about right speech. I just so much want to talk about right speech, because I was just thinking, whoever is saying what's happening right now is not normal. I mean, it's normal because we're human beings, but like right speech is really cool. And we should all really pay attention to this. So we're right speech, right action, and right livelihood, or right living, which is what you guys will be doing the next two weeks. And then after that, is the third, which is called right concentration, which is right effort. That's what we'll do the week we get back. And then right mindfulness and right concentration. So it's the way Buddha put forward a path. It's a path of kindness. It's a path of awakening. It's a path of there's no end to it, and it's right here, and it's full and complete in each moment, and we just all get to make choices, and the choices make us, and we help each other make choices, and it's so cool. It's like, what did you think you got born for? To be here, to be happy, to wake up, and this is to help us all do that. So I thought I'm going to call on Bhikkhu Bodhi. I like Bhikkhu Bodhi, and I want to read you different parts from what he has to say. And I want to make sure we end up where I want to end up, because I want you guys to have a little discussion too. So Bhikkhu Bodhi says, Bhikkhu Bodhi is, he's a New Jersey boy who's studied and practiced for a long time as a monk. I mean, he's a really revered scholar and translator and practitioner and kind person, and he really cares about the world. So what he says is the ethics, these three, the three, the ultimate purpose isn't so much ethical, but spiritual. It's like, this isn't like moralism. This is like to help us all wake up, and for our minds to get clearer and more spacious, and our hearts to open and break, and to know more about love and kindness, and which is the way that you bring an end to suffering. Because the more you pay attention, the more you notice we're suffering, because how's the speech going on in your head? I think wonderful things, and I also think things that just like, whoa, and then it's like you got this ricochet thing going on, where it's out there and then it's in here, and it's like, wow, okay. I think you get it. And he says the most important thing in the traditional teachings is that you establish yourself in wholesome states, because you want to enact virtue in real life situations. So you really pay attention to the unwholesome states, not from a place of judgment, but just from a place of, again, of like, ouch. And then how do we cultivate in ourselves the world that we really want to be, both inner and outer? He says Sila is explained traditionally through samadhana, harmony or coordination. Harmony or coordination in social, psychological, and karmic realms. So let me just read a little bit what he says about this. Sila, which is precepts, really. Sila, which is ethics or morality in the deepest sense, leads to harmony at several levels: social, psychological, karmic, and contemplative. At the social level, the principles of Sila help to establish harmonious interpersonal relationships. But you could say we become a good friend. Welding the mass of differently constituted memories of society with their own private interests and goals into a cohesive social order in which conflict, if not utterly eliminated, is at least reduced. Doesn't this seem like something that we can be working on forever and in this time? At the psychological level, Sila brings harmony to the mind, protection from the inner split caused by guilt and remorse over moral transgressions. Like you walk around feeling, it's like you did something and then you feel bad about it, or you feel bad about the other person, and at the karmic level, the observance of Sila ensures harmony with the cosmic law of karma. Hence, favorable results is like good begets good. I mean, it may not look that way, but in the big picture, and harm causes more harm. And at the fourth level, the contemplative, Sila helps establish clarifying the mind, he says purifying the mind, to be completed in a deeper and more thorough way by developing serenity and insight. It's like your mind calms down. It's like the mind of Zazen. Is if you sit, it really does calm down, and you can really notice as your mind calms down, your body calms down, your heartbeat calms down, and then more and more, instead of reactive behavior, there's nice little things that come out of your mouth, or little things that you do that you didn't even know that you knew were you. It's constant surprise for me. If you look at it negatively, he uses the word abstinence, and I love the word, I can remember it, wise restraint. That to me feels like this isn't like binding yourself in anything. It's like, what's the wisdom of what really needs to be said or done? How do we really want to live here? Abstinence from the unwholesome, and the other commitment is to the wholesome. From the Dhammapada, we did the Dhammapada on Thursday. We'll do it again. To abstain from all evil, to cultivate the good, and to purify one's mind. This is the teaching of the Buddhas, which is in our precepts are the 3 pure mind precepts. But if you go to, when I've been in Theravadan countries and Theravadan temples, that's just everywhere. Those are the 3 things that the focus is on, is to avoid evil. I mean, whatever that means to you, avoid doing harm. Evil's a few steps down the road, but that's how you enter it. Cultivate the good and purify the mind. It's like, pay attention to your mind, pay attention to your heart. Okay, so now we're into right speech. There's four different kinds of right speech. Ready for them? Abstaining from false speech. Abstaining from slanderous speech. 3 here. What's the 4th one? Never could count. Abstaining from harsh speech, and abstaining from idle chatter. Okay, want to get to. Okay, so here's a little bit, because what Bhikkhu Bodhi says, and it seems true to me, is that it's one of the things that's unique to a human being is speech and the written word. So this is a whole, I mean, I suppose monkeys chatter each other and birds. I mean, there is a kind of speech that's happening, but I think in the sense of following something all the way through, human beings have the capacity to look at this and to wake up in it and to cause, as we know, incredible harm. So abstaining from false speech. This is from the Buddha. Herein someone avoids false speech and abstains from it. They speak the truth, is devoted to truth, reliable, worthy of confidence, not a deceiver of people. Does this kind of break your heart in terms of just coming home to ground and how we can be together, which is, again, this is our collective responsibility. Being at a meeting or amongst people or in the midst of relatives or in society or in the king's court and called upon, and asked as witness to tell what you know, this person answers if he knows nothing, I know nothing. And if he knows, he answers, I know. And if he has seen nothing, he answers, I have seen nothing. And if she has seen, she answers, I have seen. Thus they never knowingly speak a lie, either for the sake of their own advantage, or for the sake of another person's advantage, or for the sake of any advantage whatsoever. Part of me feels like we should ring a bell and just do bows here and just bow forever and ever. This is, I mean, this isn't just Buddha. This is, any tradition would say this to you. So, so the negative framing is refrain or wise restraint from lying. The positive is to speak the truth. And he points out that the determinative factor is the intention to deceive. So that if you speak something false and believe it's true, that then there's not karmic ripples in it. There's not a breach of this intention. Says lies can be different depending on guise, and greed, hate, and delusion, which we'll point out here, are at the root of. So we look at what our intentions are. Says, why was Buddha against lying? One, it's disruptive to social cohesion and it breaks trust. But the other is by its nature, lies tend to proliferate, which is, I mean, we can see that so much is like once you say something, then you have to say something else. And then there's this web that, you know, it's just, so pay attention. That's all. No shame, no blame, just there's a difference between remorse and guilt. Remorse is, I really like this teaching. Guilt is like, oh God, I'm a terrible person. I did something really wrong. You know, it's just, remorse is just to get it. Like, oh, I caused harm there. That's all. And then you take a breath and you step back and you start over again. It's really different. And it doesn't mean that then you justify and ignore it happened. You just don't get lost in it. It just becomes a marker. Okay. Next one is, I hope you guys are enjoying this.
Chris, can I tell you, remorse actually means grief.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, it's grief. That's exactly what it is. It's just the grief of, oh, yeah, I hurt that person. I hurt myself. I hurt the situation. That's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Abstaining from slanderous speech. This person avoids slanderous speech and abstains from it. What they have heard, they do not repeat there, so as to cause dissension there. Or what they have heard there, they do not repeat here, so as to cause dissension there. Gossip. It's in the precepts is really names good. God, you know, what are we doing when we're gossiping? Thus they unite those that are divided, and those that are united, they encourage. Concord gladdens them, delights and rejoices them, and it is concord that you spread by your words. So Bhikkhu Bodhi says, and the Buddha says, that slanderous speech is one of the most serious moral transgressions. Isn't this, it's like when you realize what's happening right now, how much suffering is going on inside of people. I mean, to really get that the kinds of words we're using there's so much suffering here. And part of it's because it usually has deliberation. Like to slander somebody, you have to have some intention to do something mean. And it's the opposite of promoting friendship and harmony, which originates in loving kindness and sympathy. There you go. Like, smell your words. What are we doing here? And then you win trust and affection, and you gain friends because people trust you. It all just seems so simple and so wise, and we just forget it, don't we? Okay, number 3, abstaining from harsh speech. The Buddha. This person avoids harsh language and abstains from it. You speak with words that are gentle, soothing to the ear, loving, such words as go to the heart and are courteous, friendly, and agreeable to many. Seems so obvious, doesn't it? Here. It's speech that's uttered in anger and it's intended to cause harm. Harsh speech is intended to cause harm. There are, let's see. There are 3 forms of it. Abusive speech. Scolding, reviling, and reproving another angrily with bitter words. Second is insult. Hurting another by ascribing offensive qualities which detracts from that person's dignity. An interesting language. And the third is sarcasm. Speaking to someone in a way that ostensibly lauds them, but with such a tone or twist of phrasing that the ironic intent becomes clear and causes pain. Ooh, that's Bhikkhu Bodhi. He's pretty good, huh? You get the feeling he's really studied this because he's really, it's like what he's saying just feels like, well, yeah, that's it. The antidote is patience. Oh, you know, patience. Learning to tolerate blame and criticism from others, to sympathize with their shortcomings, to respect differences in viewpoints, to endure abuse without feeling compelled to retaliate. Good kind of practice, huh? Ongoing. I'm in. Are you in? I'm in forever. That's so humble. Just maybe put me in a wooden casket underneath the Virgin Mary so that we can all just keep being kind and wake up and remember what's important and true here. Okay, the last one. Abstaining from idle chatter. The Buddha says, you avoid idle chatter and abstain from it. You speak at the right time, in accordance with facts. You speak what is useful. Speak of the Dhamma and the discipline of it, or you could speak of Christianity or what. I mean, just to speak deeply, speak deeply. Your speech is like a treasure, uttered at the right moment, accompanied by reason, moderate, and full of sense. And he says, idle chat, that was the Buddha, this is Bhikkhu Bodhi. Idle chatter is pointless talk. Speech that lacks purpose or depth. Speech communicates nothing of value, but only stirs up the defilements in one's own mind and in others. I actually think a lot of people, I mean, my experience, because I've lived in a monastery, but I also think it's people who are often who are drawn to spiritual paths, is I never liked idle chatter. I'm really bad at it, but I want to be with people. So you go sit on a cushion all by yourself next to people, and then you sort of get to learn how to communicate with your body and your heart and movement. But I still, after all these years, social talk, which is actually kind of a skill I'm not very good at, but we can do it to be polite and kind, right? Lay persons, this is people who aren't in monasteries, will have more need for affectionate small talk with friends and family. So it's really important to learn how to do affectionate small talk. Polite conversation with acquaintances and talk in connection with their line of work. But even they should be mindful not to let the conversation stray into pastures where the restless mind always eager for something sweet or spicy to feed on, might find the chance to indulge its defiling propensities. I think you Bodhi all the time. Ooh, sweet and spicy. Let's go after that. Okay, so now this is the part that I wanted to give you guys to talk about. Today, these days, it might be of value to give this factor a different slant from just abstaining from idle chatter, made imperative by certain developments peculiar to our own time, unknown in the days of the Buddha and the ancient commentators. This is avoiding exposure to the idle chatter constantly bombarding us through the new media of communication created by modern technology. What an interesting view of what's happening with social media and social technology, that it's just a form of idle chatter. Scrolling is a kind of idle chatter. An incredible array of devices. Television, radio, newspapers, pulp journals, the cinema. He must have written this before phones came out. Turns out a continuous stream of needless information and distracting entertainment, the net effect of which is to leave the mind passive, vacant, and sterile. I think this is delightful. All these developments, naively accepted as progress, threaten to blunt our aesthetic and spiritual sensitivities and deafen us to the higher call of the contemplative life, or to being reflective, or to looking or thinking. I mean, that's part of what's happening from what I read and sense politically and in the world, is nobody's dropping down, because we're all just in a constant stream of idle chatter going back and forth. Serious aspirants on the path to liberation have to be extremely discerning in what they allow themselves to be exposed to. Thich Nhat Hanh, really, this is one of Thich Nhat Hanh's really big things. They would greatly serve their aspirations by including these sources of amusement and needless information in the category of idle chatter and making an effort to avoid them. Well, I know I'm not going to avoid it, and I know that I'm mildly, at least, addicted, and I get the idle chatter of it. But I would like to have you guys have a conversation about what's your I mean, any of this, but what's your relationship with social media? Because I know, like, my son teaches in the Oakland schools, and it's a big conversation with kids. Is what do you do? How much do you use? How do you think about it? So we've got a little more than 10 minutes, and you can just do confessions and grief and whatever you want to do with this, any of it. But why don't you just turn to somebody next to you, and I'll put you guys in groups. You could do 2s or 3s. There's social media. How do you practice with it? It's not going away. So how do you practice with it?